If you love the look of chevrons but hate counting to 47 every single row, congratulations, you found your people. Because today we're doing Tunisian Chevron. All the zigzag drama, none of the emotional damage. Hey crochet friends, I'm Mo, your crochet companion. Today we're working up a Tunisian chevron stitch. Clean peaks, crisp valleys, and zero frogging panic. For this swatch, I'm using my usual, I love this yarn. And of course you need your Tunisian hook. Nothing fancy, just long enough to hold all your feelings. Now you may be asking, why is this worth it, right? This stitch is absolutely perfect for blankets, scarves, panels, anything where you want texture that looks impressive but secretly chill. And the best part, once you see the repeat, your hands go on autopilot. Your brain gets a coffee break. Now, stick around because I'll show you the one spot people mess up that turns chevrons into sad waves. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the foundation. Chevron stitches, they're dramatic, so they'll need multiples. No freelancing here. So we work in multiples of 14. Now, if you decide to, you can do a foundation row like I did on mine. I did a single crochet foundation row, and if you do the single crochet foundation row, you just need to do 28 or 14, but the multiples of 14 exactly. Now, if you are going to do the chain foundation like I'm going to show you how to do now, it will be your multiples of 14 plus 1. So what that means is that like for this one in particular, I'm doing 28 stitches plus 1, which is 29. All right, so go ahead and do your chain of 29, and then we're going to pick up our loops like a normal simple stitch Tunisian. Nothing weird. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to, from the second chain on the hook, we're going to actually grab this back hump right here. And the reason why I do that is because I like having that braid on that side. So, and we just pick up a regular stitch all the way across, just like as if we would we're doing a regular Tunisian. Nothing fancy, right? And I'm sorry you guys hear me clicking the table every time I do a stitch. Let me finish my row and I'll come back. Okay, so I got mine on my hook all ready to go. I forgot to mention that if you guys have never done Tunisian before, I would highly recommend watching my Simple Stitch Tunisian and the Knit Stitch Tunisian videos first. They will give you your foundation for all things Tunisian. All right, so now we're going to do the back pass. It's just like a regular back pass. And the next row that we start, that is where the magic is going to start. So as you can see, I just did the yarn over and pulled through 1 at the very beginning of the row. And then we do the yarn over, pull through 2 all the way to the end of the row. And then I actually, on my little sampler swatch, I picked up a second color on the back pass because I think it is so much fun to have multiple colors. In fact, I was thinking about doing a blanket with the Tunisian Chevron because it's such a pretty stitch. It just came out absolutely beautiful. So, all right, now here's where the fun comes in at the very next row. So this is where we're going to set up our chevron. So just to kind of explain things to you. So your peaks are made with increases and your valleys are made with decreases. Think mountains and snack breaks. I'm just kidding. But I think of it as going up the hill and down the hill. So to start with, we're going to go down the hill, okay? So we're going to, very first stitch, we're going to yarn over. We're going to skip this first one right here and go into the next stitch. And then we're going to count to 5. So we're going to do a simple stitch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, to make the valley, we're going to take our hook and we're going to insert it into the next 3 stitches. So, and as you know, simple stitch is in that vertical bar. We're going to insert our hook into all of those 3 vertical bars. This is your decrease. Then you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 of those. And I like to kind of snug it up just a little bit. All right, so now we're going to go up the hill. So we're going to go into the next 5 stitches. We're doing a simple stitch in the next 5 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now we're going to be at the top of the mountain or the peak, and this is where you're going to increase. And to increase, we're just doing that yarn over like we did at the very beginning of our row. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next one, yarn over one more time, and insert our hook into the next one. Now we're going to go down the valley. So think of it as when you're going down the valley, you're going to do 4 stitches. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you go up the valley, and in the up valley, you do 5. So, but now we're in the down stitch. So we're going to go into the next 3 stitches with our hook. 1, 2, 3. We're in the valley. And we're doing our decrease. I like to snug it up just a little bit. Normally, I wouldn't say snug anything up in Tunisian, but I do like to do that on the decrease just a little bit. So now we're going to go uphill. So we're going to go into 5, the next 5 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we do an increase at the end of the row. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to insert our hook into that braid at the end. All right. So let me recap that. So we're going to do an increase, 1 increase at the very beginning of the row and 1 increase at the end of the row. Your valley is a decrease of 3, so you're inserting your hook into 3 stitches, yarning over and pulling through all 3. Then you go up the hill for 5 stitches, down the hill is 4 stitches, up the hill is 5. Then you do your peak, which is a yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, insert your hook. So basically you're doing the yarn over, the increase 2 times right there at the very peak of your hill, okay? Then down the valley is 4, decrease up the valley is 5, and then a decrease or increase at the very tail end, okay? Now, you do the back pass just like you would normal Tunisian crochet. So you yarn over, pull through that first one, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way to the end. No different, right? I actually think that this is so much easier than a regular chevron, believe it or not. I mean, once you get the hang of doing chevron in regular crochet, I mean, it's not really that difficult, but I just find that it seems to me like it's simpler in Tunisian. Okay, all the way to the end. Now, the next row is kind of where things get a little more complicated. So you know where we yarned over. So we have this one right here, and you see it kind of hides in the back, right? Let me get a little bit closer so you can see it. So it kind of hides back in the back right there. And then again, right here, it kind of hides in the back and hides in the back. We count those as a stitch, okay? And then it's down here at the end. You have the one that's hiding in the back. Oop, Might help if I have it in the frame. Yeah, right there in the back. So that counts as a stitch. So let's do that together. Now remember, at the very beginning of the stitch, you do the yarn over, or the very beginning of the row, you do yarn over. Now you're going to grab that one stitch that's kind of hiding in the back there. That's going to count as one. Then we go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, take a minute. We're gonna look at one of our cues, the way our stitches cue. So you'll kind of know if you're aiming right is if you see this little hole right there, nice little hole. Your decrease on the next row and every row after this is going to be the 2 stitches before and 1 after. So you're going to know when you see that that's where you're supposed to be, okay? And if it's not, then you know your count is wrong. So now that we did our 4, so we went down our hill. Now we're going to do our peak, or excuse me, our valley. We're going to insert our hook into those 3 stitches, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now we're going to go up the hill, so we're going to do a simple stitch in the next 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you'll see this is another one of your cues. So at the peak of your valley, that first yarn over that you found, that is your 5th stitch of the uphill. So now you're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over again one more time, and you'll know this is right because you're going into that yarn over from the previous row and doing your finished piece. Now you're going to go into the next 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you see that you are in the right place for your valley, right? You see 1, 2 before the hole and 1 after. And don't worry about the hole because it does, I'm going to go back and show that to you. You'll see that it does kind of close itself up after that. So now we're going back uphill. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this is the part you don't want to forget. You do the yarn over on that after that 5th one and insert your hook into that little braid at the end, okay? And then we do our back pass as usual. I'm going to do this one more time and then I'm going to show you how to bind off. That's important because you bind off slightly different in a chevron than you do in regular Tunisian. Okay, let me go back just a little bit further. All right, one more row and then we'll bind off. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that one that's hiding back behind there, the yarn over from the previous row. So that's the first one. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the down the hill. Then we're going to go into the next 3 stitches with our hook to create the valley. Yarn over and pull through all 3. And normally in normal crochet you would do a slip stitch at the top, and let me tell you what, my mechanics, they want to do that. All right, so now we're going uphill, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know you're in the right place because you're going into that yarn over from the previous row. Then you yarn over, insert your hook. In the next one, yarn over again, insert your hook into that yarn over from the previous row. Now we're going downhill. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're in our valley, so we're going to do our decrease. So we're inserting our hook into those 3 stitches, yarning over, pulling through all 3. Now we're going back uphill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, insert your hook into your braid, yarn over, pull through. Now, let's go ahead and do our back pass, and then we'll take a look at that and do a few more discussion items on my list here. So remember, it is the yarn over, pull through 1 at the very beginning of the back pass, then yarning over, pulling through 2 all the way to the end. So really the only difference with between regular Tunisian crochet and the chevron is just those increases, those slight increases and the slight decreases in those specific areas. And this is where you want to take your time, because this row, it decides how sharp your chevrons are going to be, or they're going to be emotionally confused, one of the two. But once you got the forward pass down, the rest is just repeating the vibe. And from here on out, you're just repeating the same forward and the same return passes. This is great Netflix, but still productive stitch. Just don't blink during the valleys. Still with me? Okay, that is awesome to hear. This is a great moment to pause, count your stitches, and avoid future regret. Now, let's go to the common mistakes, aka why chevrons go rogue. If your fabric is leaning, shrinking, or giving abstract art, check these 3 things. If you make sure that you didn't, actually it's 4 things. If you skipped a decrease, you added an extra increase, or you trusted vibes instead of counting. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you is a mistake that I made in my own. Now, let's see if you guys can pinpoint what the problem is. Can you see what the problem is? Over here on this side? So what happened was, I forgot the increase at the end of my row. So this is what it's going to look like if you forget the increase at the end of your row. So you don't want to forget that increase. That's important. So you always want to remember the increase at the beginning and the increase at the end. Now you may ask, why are you going to love this stitch? Tunisian Chevron gives you bold texture, clean geometry, and wow factor that looks harder than it is. And honestly, it feels good to watch it grow. I personally got mesmerized while I was doing this. That's why I forgot my yarn over. I got enthralled and I forgot my yarn over. And I tried to make up for it by putting it back in there, but it was too late. The damage was already done. All right, well, if this helped you, give it a like. It tells the algorithm we're friends. Subscribe if you want more Tunisian stitches without the confusion spiral. And if you try this, drop a comment and tell me what you're making. I want the details. I do. I want those details. Until next time, don't let your stitches zig when they should zag, and may you always find your crochet hook.